Hey everybody, it's Sarah, aka The Mill Coach, and it's time for Epic Shit Challenge Day 19. So today's challenge looks a little bit different in my mind than it did when I originally etched out what this what this 21 days was going to be. But for whatever reason, I'm feeling compelled to share this particular message today. And it actually, I think, was planted, or this idea was planted by one of my girlfriends that I met a couple of weeks ago when I was in Arizona. She and I have been friends forever. We went to elementary school, junior high, high school. She was actually the valedictorian of my senior class. Yes, we've got our 20-year class reunion in a couple of weeks. I'm getting old. And now she is a PhD teaching engineering at a university, right? She's amazing, and she's a woman who has just really thrived in a male-dominated industry. So I thought that was kind of cool in itself. But anyway, she was telling me about this conference that she went to, and that it was all of these amazing engineer women, and they were talking about the imposter syndrome. And although I may have felt very connected to the imposter syndrome at parts of my life, actually, just even a couple of months ago when I was in a round pen session with a couple of coach friends of mine, this was something that came up for me. I had never really had language to really call it anything. And so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what it is. It says the imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon in which people are unable to internalize their accomplishments, despite external evidence of their competence. Those with the syndrome remain convinced that they're frauds and they don't deserve the success that they've achieved. Proof of success is dismissed as luck, timing, or a result of deceiving others into thinking that they're more intelligent and competent than they believe themselves to be. Notably, imposter syndrome is particularly common in high-achieving women, although, of course, you're going to see men that have it as well. The imposter syndrome is something that I've definitely kind of had issues with, right? Because I, find myself falling into these areas of like, okay, do I really think that I can be a coach? Do I really think that I can be an entrepreneur who, can make my own schedule and, also be with my kids and travel where I want to travel and, just have this freaking amazing life? And when I do have accomplishments, it's a matter of, is it just because everybody around me is kind of stupid and they don't get, that I'm not really that brilliant? Yeah, these are conversations that I've had in my mind. And so sometimes I just need to really check in and say, dude, you're not a freaking fraud. You're freaking awesome. So just bring your epic shit and, push that away. So I've got a couple of questions for you as a part of our challenge today. And I'd like you to see if you've identified with any of these things. People that identify with the imposter syndrome will often really move into the area of diligence with might, right? This is where they work harder in order to prevent people from discovering that they're imposters. And so they work extra hours, they really just, live, eat, sleep, drink, whatever it is that is their work. But this can lead to burnout and to sleep deprivation, right? But I don't want to be found out. Right? There's another one also of feeling like you're phony, right? You, in the attempt to not be found out again, you give people the answers that they want to hear versus what you really believe or what you really know to be true. Right? Sometimes people with the imposter syndrome will just really lay on the charm, because if they're super charming, then people will love them, and then their ability really won't be scrutinized. Right? And then finally, there's just this overall avoiding of confidence or displaying your confidence. You don't want to be rejected by others, and so you convince yourself that you're not intelligent or that you don't deserve success, so that you avoid, people seeing the true you, if you will. So today I want you to think about, when do you have imposter syndrome? Do you? If you do, awesome, because you've acknowledged it today, yay. But more importantly, how can you move forward? And so one of the things that I'd like you to do for your challenge is to do a writing exercise. So pull out some paper, and I know I've asked you to write a lot, but I think that it's super important. I want you to just make a list of accomplishments that you've had in your life. Right? What were some of those things that you totally have rocked the house around, whether it's in your professional life, your personal life, when you were in elementary school, junior high, high school, college, beyond, I don't care. even if it's something, that's just a part of like your physical routine. For instance, if you have diligently for the last, 6 months woken up at, 7 o'clock so that you could go to the gym before you go to work, like that's an accomplishment. So I don't want you to be thinking about, okay, I got a certificate for it, or I got, public accolades for it. It's anything that you would deem to be an accomplishment. And you might just need one piece of paper. You might need 12 pieces of paper. I don't care. I want you to write all of them out, because you are not an imposter. You are worth it. You are not a fraud. You've got everything that you need to deliver your epic shit. And so sometimes you just need to remember all of those amazing things that you have to push away that fear and push away that resistance and push away that feeling of imposterhood, because baby, you've got it. Again, you've showed up here for a reason. And so move into it. All right. So that's your challenge for today. We'll see you tomorrow.